Hey everyone, Long here. I actually just got back from watching Super Mario Galaxy. So I did post a story, like a short post on my socials about like my time like watching Super Mario Galaxy, and a lot of that echoes true. It's really awesome. I quite love it. The movie is quite amazing. So I mean, I'm a big fan of Mario and the Plum Bros, and I was very happy about how it turned out. So so first off, like before I begin, I would just wanted to like kind of show off my hat from like the Game Awards when I got to be in the crowd, like being singing along to Super Mario Odyssey. So that was fun, honestly. So and then also I wanted to show off like what I got over at the movie theater. So I actually got the super ticket over at Cinemark, and I did pay for it with my own money. It's like $30 or so, but I got this popcorn bucket, and I actually also pre-ordered the Yoshi popcorn bucket. Don't do that unless you're willing to pay fork over $30 for shipping. Please don't do that. Try to like get your popcorn bucket when it actually is available. Now, I initially like pre-ordered it because I did not want to miss out on it. They did end up having extra buckets available over at the theaters. So if you haven't yet, you still have an opportunity to go get those buckets. So then, like, I got this nice little swag bag that is now full of popcorn because I stuck my popcorn bucket in it. And I got this nice poster. I'm going to go ahead and find a place on my wall to put that on. And then what we have here, and then I also want to take a look at what we got here. This looks to me like some kind of a, what is this supposed to be? Let's open this. Yeah, so I think this is supposed to be a cauldron where you can have, yeah, supposed to be like a little cauldron for Bowser. So which is pretty dang cool. I kind of dig that. So I'll have to play around with this a little later. Maybe, hang on a second. No, I guess I don't really need to. But I think that is kind of neat. So, of course, how am I going to make this work? Because, yeah, what is this, an ornament? Yeah, but you do get big bad Bowser right there. So yeah, and then last but not least, we have a Luma push pin. So which one did we get? So it's collect all six, but realistically, I don't think you can get all six of these Luma pins, not unless you have a bunch of kids that you want to like get these from. So you can potentially get one of these six different Lumas. So mine happens to be a pink one. So which is great. I mean, like, that's fine. I think the Lumas were really adorable in the movie, so I think like, it's really cute that they are actually like Brie Larson's character's children, like Princess Rosalina, who I actually now adore. I very much adore Rosalina a lot. So, and more so Brie Larson. So anyway, that's enough of that. We're going to go ahead and talk about the movie, which I think if you haven't yet and you love the Super Mario game, definitely go out and see it in theaters. It's absolutely worth it. So I think they really outdid themselves. And don't listen to the lamestream like media critics. Honestly, I think they're really upset about like Super Mario for all the wrong reasons. I think that there's a lot of political bent in their like critiques. And at the end of the day, like it's they're less focused on enjoying the movie, and then they're more focused on like the personal and the political differences that they absolutely don't like. Which is that Super Mario Galaxy actually absolutely has no politics like that. So in fact, I will even go as far as to say. Like the relationship between Mario and Princess Peach actually got a lot stronger, and I'm not going to say anything else about that. I'll definitely really need to go see this movie. So what else got stronger was actually was Peach herself. Like she actually has a she has a very good relationship with Princess Rosalina, who I won't say much further, except that I thought Brie Larson did a great job with Rosalina. I mean, like the only thing I will spoil is that she's not in the movie for that long, but like the screen time that she gets is actually pretty good, and I think that enough of that was there to actually set her up as a character that for another movie, which inevitably will come on up because this movie is actually quite good. I think it's going to completely destroy, destroy like all competition this week, so anyway, what else did I think work? I think like the Plumber Brothers, ultimately they do pretty well. I think Chris Pratt does a pretty good job with with Mario, and he actually does say the line, he actually does say "Mamma Mia," and like there is a bit of a debate going on as to why he's not like using that, he's not saying it in an Italian way and that. So there's like a whole thing about it. But anyway, yeah, I thought this was done pretty well. I thought there was a lot of really cool like uses of like different power ups in this movie, and then I thought it was actually quite awesome to see like so many different like intertwining Easter eggs. Very much loved it all, but mainly there were a lot of really pleasant surprises. The story is actually quite good. The story is pretty easy to follow. I mean, it's not as deep as those as like the critics would like for them to be. I'm not going to even read past the headline. There was also some really like just dishonest criticism, including oh, so this is what, so yeah, they're more villainy than they should be, which I think is absolute bunkum. Villains are villains. I mean, like they're villains because they want to be, and that's the thing that we're missing in this like modern day era, trying to make them too ambiguous so that we actually learn to sympathize with them. I think we should probably like ditch that whole like sympathetic like villain trope. It's become a trope at this point. So let the villains be villains, and that's exactly what we got out of the movie. The Bowsers, yeah, like dang. It is so cool to see. I think I thought like Bowser Jr. in particular was pretty awesome in this one. So like it was just so like delightful to see like how evil this little kid is. Because like he's got his dad's influence, and he's just like, yeah, and like but you play along with like a lot of the stuff that goes on, and then but in the end you always knew that Bowser is Bowser. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Who else? I mean, like, so there were some characters I did not know that actually existed in the Nintendo universe. Like, there was that Toad character. He's basically a big old boss in a casino inspired theme, like sequence. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I think he's fine. I didn't really remember him very well, but it's really cool to see that Nintendo actually, like Illumination Studio, took a chance in incorporating this character. So then there was also and then there was also some so some of the more pleasant surprises were with Donald Glover. I mean, like, if I never saw a single piece of media out there, I would have not guessed that was actually Donald Glover saying Yoshi, 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 Yoshi. But he's so good at it, and I like that. So I mean, like I said before, like, kind of reminds me of like when Vin Diesel played Groot, and like nobody really knew that was Vin Diesel unless they looked hard. Otherwise, they would just like been some guy who just said, "I am Groot." And this is kind of the same thing with Donald Glover being Yoshi, and it's so cool. He really does replicate his mannerisms so well. Well, I don't know why I said mechanisms, but mannerisms is what I was trying to say. It was so good. Yeah, I think Donald Glover absolutely fits to a T. And then, of course, like Keegan from Key and Peele, he does really well as Toad. So, and I actually did appreciate that. Like Toad really got in action a lot more here. So, obviously, like there are characters from the first movie that don't make it into the second movie, but that's fine too because like this world is just way too vast to bring in repeat characters. And but one character I particularly want to see like come back is Star Fox. Star Fox, but full name Fox McCloud, and it's so cool. I mean, honestly, like I would have loved to have seen Slippy and Falco, and then there was I think it was Bucky. That I would have loved to have seen like Fox McCloud's squadron, but at least they get a bit of a mention here. So, and I appreciate that much. But what was even so cool is seeing Glenn Powell. Figuring out that Glenn Powell actually voices Star Fox, and he's so right for this character. I mean, like the dude has done so many like pilot roles, like roles as a fighter pilot. And I think that's just like in his wheelhouse at this point. Like he was Hangman from Top Gun. It's like, dang, I didn't actually think about that. That was actually pretty cool. I think like Glenn Powell was totally right for Fox McCloud, and I really want to see like a spinoff from him. I know like there were a lot of like people who were just kind of theorizing that this is going to be a lead up. This is going to lead up into Super Smash Bros. And it would have been kind of cool, but then like they got to build up the whole Nintendo verse, the NCU, as like some people on YouTube had said, WDW Pro actually brought up that theory. It's like, I'm not so sure about that. But it was pretty cool to see that Fox McCloud's in there, but honestly, I think like that shouldn't have been spoiled out by the press, but whatever. That's what we get for like hanging out too much over on social media. So whatever. However, I'm gonna go ahead but the thing I really love the most is just how well all of that came together. I mean, it is very clear that Illumination Studio really knows what they're doing. They really know how to make a great video game adaptation, and I think we're basically eating really good here. So I had a great time. I bought all this, I bought the merch. I paid a lot of money for a Yoshi bucket. But I'm not even ashamed to say that. This movie rocks. And I think Nintendo's got a great thing going. The only thing I don't necessarily want to see is having their movie quality be compromised by whatever politics happen to exist. So if Illumination can continue to exert its control, and especially if Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto can keep his grip on on the creativity of this wonderful franchise, I think I think this universe is set to just thrive for the next couple of decades. So even by the time I can't run anymore, I can't jump anymore, I can't play games anymore, I really hope that I still get to see a really good good movie or from Nintendo. So personally, I don't really I hadn't bought the Switch 2, so that's just an FYI. I think it's just ultimately too expensive, and unfortunately the game library isn't really as vast as it can be. It's not even original. None of the games are original. They tend to be a lot of properties that have been revisited. I think it's fine to have those legacy characters to introduce folks to they should be the ones that actually sell you on the console. But then But if you're not producing like any original properties, I don't think it's really worth it to get that console. That's just an aside there. Um, However, I still do love Nintendo for its creativity. I think like that's really all they should be leaning into. Like, um, yeah, family friendly brand. That's really what they should be sticking to. And occasionally, I've been seeing that they also they also like sell a lot of like tea and over games, um, on their store, and it's like okay, um, but at the end of the day, like Nintendo's really big strong point is its family brand. So if they can just lay off the lawsuits, and if they can just lay off the controversies that they've gotten into recently, I think that they've got a really huge winner on their hands. So anyway, absolutely go see Super Mario Galaxy. I think it's ultimately worth your time, and yeah. So it's a very great film, and I will also like to attest that it is kid friendly. It is it's family safe. There is, and I'm going to just reiterate, there is nothing like controversial about watching Super Mario Galaxy. Do not listen to those like people who just simply want to inject their own brand of hatred in politics. So just see it because you want to see a really well made adaptation, and you want to see like really good heroes. So anyway, that's it for me. But if you like what you saw here, please do like the video, comment on what you enjoyed and what you didn't enjoy. If you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks everyone. Hang loose.